for a blanket, it can take her a couple months. But any questions here?
Do they sell them?
Yeah, we do sell these in our gift shop as well as all of the other crafts. But if you won't find them in here, we do have a museum as well as a craft shop that you see downtown.
Did they learn to do this from other cultures or originated from them or?
To learn how to do these like now?
Yeah. Or like the Cherokee people in general?
Back in the day, they
It's usually passed down through the families, but they're teaching it in the schools now.
Yeah, we do have a mentee program which will let some of the kids come in here and learn some of the crafts that we have, as well as in the school system, they teach them how to do some of these crafts.
That's neat.
Any other questions here? If no other questions, would you guys like to hold one?
Would you like to hold one? Hold on a second, yeah, hold on. Would you like to hold it?
Hey. Yeah.
Yeah, this is stronger. This is stronger.
But the first thing I'm going to show you is our stroller. Now our stroller was made from men's leggings as well as the hems of a woman's skirt. So we take that fabric and we would weave the beads inside. Another thing we have is our sewing board. So we take the beads one at a time and go through it and making our bow. Now back then, the materials that we would use would be copper, clay beads, animal teeth and bones, as well as seashells that we would trade with our coastal dry. We didn't have a metal needle back then, so we take the back of the green tube, use that tool, and cut it down. But any questions here? If no other questions, would you guys like to hold one?
This is heavy.
Those okay, right?
太多了，但是就出来不了噻。
Nó to hơn tay à? Có chi à?
If no other questions, we can sit heading up the pottery. Don't worry. Now this is our pottery. We do have two types of methods. The first one, we'll put some more clay and put it on like a snake-like form, or even as rings. Now we can make designs out of many different things, such as using sticks, seashells, antlers, as well as we had paddles. So we carve out designs, putting it on the side. But making it waterproof on the inside. Now before we did that, we have to make sure that all the air bubbles were out of the clay, so that way when we put it over the open fire pit, it wouldn't explode. That glaze that you see right here actually wasn't from glaze. It was from the river rocks to shine it up. Any other questions here?
How do you purify the clay? Is there a process or you just get it from the creek until you get it?
You get it, you set it out, and then you take your hand and stick it on.
Oh my god. No string that you push it through or anything?
Not really, no.
Oh man.
You just kind of have to, I mean,
Yeah, there were some other tribes. There was the Cherokee, the Lummi, the Cree.
You guys were like the biggest.
We took about Virginia, West Virginia, North Carolina, South Carolina, Georgia, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Alabama.
You guys got reserves in other states too?
lining were made for our traditional dances. So the leader of that group would put on a mask, and that would be representing our dance. So if we had a bear mask, we put that on, and that would be our bear dance. A couple materials that we would have would be hardwood, boards, as well as wasp nests. So during the winter, we'd go up and we'd find a wasp nest. We'd clean it out to make sure that there is nothing inside. Once we did that, bird houses, our water dippers, our rattles, as well as our bolts. For our fork and spoon, our fork was made out of mountain cane. We'd let that grow and slice it from that top. While for our spoon, it was made out of a bison horn, and we just scrape it out. Now, as I was saying before, is we would trade our coastal tribes for these seashells. So we take half of them, crush them up, use water, animal fat, and pine resin, and we mix that all up, and that'll be for our ceremonials, as well as our white paint for our mask. We had our pipe stone. Our pipe stone was to represent the 7 claims that we had. Now what we put in here is rabbit tobacco. If we put too much and they inhaled it, they could get sick. So we just put a little bit, then take some, and then we throw it out.
At night, you see them light
Yeah.
pop out and go different direction, and all of a sudden, it's all coming back together. It's back to where we live. Middle of the night, that's when only time it shows up.
Yeah.
And when you go way up the hill, you can see in the valley, it's all jungle, but the old people used to say, they used to call it foxfire, you know?
I don't know why they call it foxfire, but that's what they call it. When like you be in the woods or something and you look down and you see that fire,
Yes.
it's like a fire or something.
Yeah, I saw that back in Laos.
Yeah.
We could never approach it. We could never identify who's doing that.
It is a spirit.
Yeah.
Thing,
Yeah.
Oh, any other questions here?
Nope.
Any other questions here? We can start heading down
Thank
to
you.
our basket. But these are our baskets. The 2 main materials that we would use. The first one would be our white oak. Now our white oak was a lot more easier to splint down as well as to bend. While we would also use our river cane. Our river cane was a lot more harder to bend because of the outside. Now what we would do is we would get a small little stick of river cane and we'd slice them up into smaller pieces, such as these. While for the white oak, it'd be made from splints, such as these size. Now once we had those, we'd put them into the water. And then after they were soaking wet, we'd take them out, we'd have leather on our leg, as well as a flint knife, and we'd splint them down. The reason this was to make them more thin and a lot more easier to bend. And then we put them back into the water so they get more thin, take them out, cutting them into smaller pieces, and then weeding them. For brown, yellow root for yellow, and blood root for orange. Any questions here?
Come on, not yellow.
Would you guys like to hold one?
This is the waterproof one. Timothy's basket's waterproof. You wanna see it? Some beeswax.
Easy.
Animal.
Don't break it.
Ooh. Oh yeah, that's a.
So that way it'd be a lot more easier for us to use the garden hose. thing I'm going to talk to you about is our bow. Now our bow was made out of 2 types of materials. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is our yellow poplar, while for our second one we would use hickory. For our strings, they were made out of bear intestines, so when we went hunting, we'd use that whole entire bear. As well as we would use intestines to hold up stuff, as well as the string that you saw back at beadwork. Now these would be the exact same height as you, so that way it'd be a lot more easier to carry and a lot more easier to shoot. We have 2 types of arrowheads. The first one I'm going to show you is our round shoulder. Our round shoulder was made to hunt bigger animals such as the bear, while we had our square shoulder. Our square shoulder was made for warfare. The difference between these two were the 2 outer shoulders. This one had none, while this one had 2. Because in warfare, when you shot it at someone and they took it out, people would stay inside, giving them a really bad infection. So we'd have to cut up the whole thing and very carefully making sure that they come out. Now to make this, we take flint, obsidian, or any stone. We take a rock and we smash it up to make it that shape. For that sharpness, we could take a deer antler or even nail and press it down. We'd have to make sure that it comes out great, but if not, if we mess it up, it'd tear down. Any other questions here?
Do you guys come practice how to shoot the bow? Because I see the target in the back.
Yeah, that's actually for our blowgun that you see right here. Yeah, we have it right here. You guys want to see a demonstration of the blowgun?
Yeah.
Yeah.
To get a better view, you guys can come down here or even to this long stick.
Carlo Catone. Carlo Catone. Nó cho lúc đi của nó chứ. Chắp bự nữa nè. Chắp bự nữa. Chắp bự chỉ có chút nữa nó. Đi dùng nó nữa. Sẽ tí nào. Sao trẻ nó là mất áp quá lo ta không nói số lúc đi cao trẻ cao xa xa nó là đúng rồi chú
1750s house. Our 1750s house was made with the same materials you saw at the last house. Now this took about 4 months to build. The reason it was a little bit longer was because we had time to fix up those woods, but it was also because of the porch. Now the porch was mostly made for any harsh weathering such as rain, snow, or any sun. We had those beds. Now those beds were for the elders as well as the parents. We had an upper shaft, and that upper shaft was long enough to be the children's bed, so they'd be sleeping up there with the storage as well. Now in the 1700s, this is where we got to see the European houses, and this is where we came up from them, as you saw back at the 1800s, and this is where our builds started to come, as well as we thought it was a lot more structure and a lot more easier to build. Now over here is our sweat house. Now our sweat house is also our master home. So during the winter time, we would come in there and we'd start a fire. So we would also had a medicine cabinet.
nó cho sao trên đông nó thấy chứ cái chú ác của nó đi lúc khó to
This herbs and seeds were out here, so we grabbed them, mixing them in the bowl.
저는 또 떠네. 가로채. 너도 또 가로채.
On the outside, it'd be the same materials as I took before. And then it was sturdy on the outside, as well as the inside. Now our doors weren't made out of any hardwood. They were made from the animal part that you see over here. We'd skin that animal, putting it over here to let it dry. Once it dried, we could use it for the doors, the sheets, or any of the blankets. Over here is our corn crusher. With our arm base, and that would be as long as our canoe would be. Now once we did that, at the base we'd start a fire, and above that base we'd have the red clay. That way it would direct the fire, burning the outside instead of the inside. Now once we had that down, we'd take the tools that we had, as well as scrape it. Once we got to this point, we'd have a fire method, which would shape it up, as well as burn the inside. Now once that died down, we'd take animal fat, put it all through it, put stones in here, and sink it all the way down to the river. And then we take those stones out and it'll be waterproof. Now we take these canoes and put them on the shore side. So that way it was a lot more easier for us to use the kids going back and forth, traveling, going back and forth. Now we
All the family, help out there, not my big house right here, all together right here.
Is this like a meeting? Yeah, it's kind of like the town hall on the sit.
또 떠나.
There, Papa Bear. This is all Mama Bear, Papa Bear house.
You go stand over there. I'll take a picture of you on fire.
See the monster?
That's amazing.
See the monster up there?
You're free to look around in here.
They killed the monster, they killed the monster up there.
Best I can.
The monster.
오늘 칼로
What do these figures represent?
칼로 미팅
Which ones? I guess the green. So, the ones in the middle, that represents our peace chief, our war chief, and then the skirt on the very other end of the side belongs to our beloved one.
It's warm in here.
Yeah, the humidity stays in here. Yeah, so the skirt right here would belong to our beloved woman. She is, as it sounds, the beloved woman of the village, the most respected woman. And the yellow one will be used in more social practices and ceremonies. Now, the red cape and the red headdress over here belongs to our war chief. He'll only show up, he, she, whoever the warriors chose, they'll only show up whenever it is times of active warfare or hostility coming to the village.
테리.